Once upon a time there lived a mother and her 3 sons. Her eldest 2 were named Justin and Jason, and they were quite devious, constantly playing pranks on their younger brother, stealing and disobeying their mother's requests. The youngest brother, Jake, was pure of heart and hard-working. One growing season, the family's poor farm was experiencing a horrible drought, which led to the mother begging neighbor farmers to help support her family. They were all impoverished too and could not afford to help, so the mother left in search of better farmland. Before leaving her sons, she asked if they wanted anything from her trip. The 2 older boys yelled out, "iPhone, baseball, video games," whereas Jake requested that her mother bring him back a rainbow stone to add to his collection. She put on her 7-league boots and went from dry place to drier until she came upon a dark swamp. Little did she know this was an enchanted swamp in which she would never be able to find her way out alone. Instead of crying and begging for help, she tried climbing up on top of hills to see the way out. When she got near the top of the 6th hill, she came across a beautiful collection of rainbow stones and thought of her youngest son, and grabbed some for him. As she was descending from the 6th hill, she encountered a beautiful white dove that told her that she could help her get out of the swamp. It was only when she arrived at her door that she realized the once beautiful dove had been transformed into a tattered, tar-colored bird. She thanked the bird uneasily and tried to get inside her home as quickly as possible, but while doing so, she accidentally dropped the rainbow stones out of her pocket. The bird became enraged and demanded that since the mother had stolen her most prized possession, that she should steal hers, her youngest son. She cried and begged against it, but Jake, who had been listening behind the door, came out on his own. The bird immediately gripped him in her claws and flew off. After many months of doing hard work on the dove's swamp, making it look more beautiful than it had ever looked, Jake begged the dove to go back home to see how his family was doing. The dove agreed under the condition that Jake bring back a corn crop in no longer than a week's time. Jake agreed, and the dove let him out of the swamp and to his home. Upon returning, he discovered that Justin and Jason had stolen the family's crops and run off. His mother was so starved and weak that she could hardly explain that after running off, her 2 eldest sons had been put into jail for horrible crimes they had committed. Jake carried his mother back to the swamp and begged that the dove help take care of her. The dove agreed to this as long as he would stay in the swamp forever as her partner. Being that the dove was taking care of Jake's mother, he hardly saw her in the month leading to her recovery. 12 weeks after Jake had brought his mom into the swamp, he woke up to rays of sunshine, birds chirping, and a beautiful display of flowers throughout the swamp, as well as paths leading out to the world beyond. Jake was running across the swamp to tell his mother the wonderful news when he came upon a happy couple picnicking on a hill scattered with rainbow-colored rocks. As he drew closer, he saw it was his mother laughing and smiling into a set of familiar eyes on an unfamiliar body. He could see that the woman that was with his mom was in fact the dove. She must have been able to see the questions in his eyes as she explained to him that she'd found her partner and that he was free to leave or stay and farm on her land. He gratefully accepted the offer to farm his land and support his mother and his lover, as well as raise his own family on that same farm.